Big Gulp. Big Gulp. 154. Directional camber.
So here are a few post-review afterthoughts in the form of a summary. We rode this with Adidas Tactical ADVs, Tactical Lexicon ADVs, and Burton Cartel X ESTs. We got this in less than ideal conditions. It was pretty firm in most places with only a few good patches. Most of the snow was scraped away. So the Burton Big Gulp is a new offering this year that has some elements of family tree boards from the past, but is still very much its own unique design. There's a good bit of camber with some early rise in the nose and maybe just a touch happening in the tail. It isn't full camber, but it feels pretty locked in. It runs a little wider than most family tree boards of similar lengths, so it has a little more surface area going on. There's about 12 millimeters of taper and only 12.5 millimeters of setback on side cut. That being said, it seems to have a lot more setback on board, and there's also a massive difference in surface area between the nose and the tail. So it looks like it'll have an easy float in powder and not ride as centered as it feels on groomers. The 154 didn't roll edge to edge easy for Peter and I with our 8.5 to 9 feet, but it was a smooth, predictable, and fun turner. The more that side cut engaged, the tighter the radius of the turn got. For Jimbo and Zobel with their 11-ish boots, it was a medium fast turner and they didn't have toe and heel drag. All of us felt it would be a good circle carver in softer snow. However, when the snow gets on the firm side, the edges let go pretty easy. We wish we had more time on this in more conditions, especially in powder, but this was the best we could do in the mess of a season we had last year. One other thing, we were at the end of a long day, so don't let our exhausted demeanor fool you into thinking we didn't have a good time on this ride. So, back to the snow.
And sizing wise, felt fine for me. This is a smaller size of 54, yet I still felt like I was having fun. You were having fun, right? With your 11s. You know, as far as camber profile goes, it looks like directional camber. It's just got a nice camber from the tail all the way past the front binding to a little early rise in the nose, and along with a pretty healthy nose too. So it did feel locked in though. It did feel semi-locked in to locked in. It felt like a technical board for those who kind of know what they're doing, but it, you know, it's not that easy to skid turns either, but it tracks well, and it just had, I don't know, a nice drive to it. And flex, what do you guys think here? How'd you like to butter this?
It buttered. It was a little easier to butter than the Kilroy.
I thought it was, yeah, a lot nicer than the Kilroy.
Right, that one I could get up on its nose, tripoded it pretty easly.
Yeah, I liked both of them, but I think this was a little touch easier. Yeah, it was real easy to lean back on and tripod and what have you. And I loved how it popped. I mean, but Burton boards just, they've refined the core for so many years, and the build around that core to make this board just pop and spring so well. So it's very poppy, very good. But then as you get into like dealing with speed and chatter and chunder, this I thought pointed pretty well, especially for a 54. It's got some width to it. Felt like it really handled well. It's not your super bomber. It's no Burton leaderboard. It's no Arbor A-frame, but it's definitely something that kind of, they can handle your most people's pointer moods. And going over the stuff, I felt like, yeah, it bounced a little bit.
But not too bad. Not as much. I didn't think nearly as much as the other one. It had it absorbed shock pretty well and didn't send it up into my knees and didn't have too much problem. No clown shoe effect really happening in there.
They do a great job at shielding you. They never get cranky. They might bounce and buck around, but they're not going to get cranky and hurt your joint. As far as base glide, Burton's bases are just amazing.
Great.
Yep.
Felt it sliding immediately and definitely felt myself, you know, zooming along quite nicely with that base.
And I felt like this edge hold let go really quick and really nicely whenever you needed it to in the hard stuff. It just let go.
You made that sound nice for some reason.
I wanted to see if I got you on that.
It was.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best edge hold.
No.
It was. I was trying to go. Maybe stop. I can't remember if I was doing some hard carving or not. And then I was like, okay, let's slow it down or whatever. And it was just like, I don't want to carve doing this. I'm just going to slide it out. Like it didn't want to hold.
Yeah, I almost
at
threw out
speed.
my back trying on a carve, and I was holding in the soft patch, and then I hit a hard patch. It's like you know that. Oh God. And
I definitely going in high speeds and like wanting to like come right down here and just drop, you know, old nipple scraper. I didn't feel comfortable doing it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And here's the thing with turning and carving. I
should
thought
do it.
this turned kind of medium-ish, but it was fun. It had spring. It had energy. Like Burton builds boards. These family tree boards really do a good job at building on each turn and really just, it's just such an easy board to turn if you know what you're doing, and it really sets you up for the next turn. I thought it was fun. I think carving, there's a caveat. If you're in soft, good snow that allows you to really sink this edge in, this thing will carve like a champ and spring out of the turn. And it's really fun, very back foot weighted, kind of powerful off the back foot, finish your turn on your back foot, kind of drive out like you're surfing. And I thought that was good. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, by no means like excelled, you know, wonderfully in some of these harder conditions, but still has a lot of energy in and out of turns. Everything was like medium good, which, you know, I don't always want like a super, you know, fast twitch one. Like when I say medium good, like that's, for me, that's kind of really where I want a board to feel the energy, you know, coming out of. I didn't say that right, but
It's okay.
it's the end of the day, guys.
We're
It's,
tired. I know. We're
I know
picking
what
up
I'm
what you're
trying to
putting down.
say, but yeah.
And then, you know, powder, it looks like you could get some good directional float with this. You got a big nose, you got some little bit of early rise, probably a decent setback on board, and I think it could float well, but we're just guessing.
So if you're thirsty, go get a big gulp.
Yeah, and this is the kind of board, like they're making a lot of different family tree boards. There's all kinds of cool specs out there. If this appeals to you, this could be a really fun ride.
Here we are with the good ride where BC is jumping the gun, trying to make us go home.
So we had to go to 7-Eleven down the street because we were all parched.
Yeah,
So we had to go get a big gulp. That's what this is.
64 ounces.
64
The
ounces.
size of a small child.
We rode this with
Whatever.